Good evening. Guess what? It's my turn to give a devotion to you, and I'm super excited about it. Tonight's devotion is going to take you on a journey, and the journey is simple. Sometimes in life, we think when we look around, where's God? And then sometimes we hear our parents or other people say, well, God speaks to me in this way, or God talks to me in other ways. Tonight, I want to share with you the first time I recall ever hearing God speak to me. I know you're thinking like, you look pretty old. You sure? Yeah, the first time. Now start thinking to yourself, have you ever heard from God? Do you think God talks to you? Or do you think that, like a lot of people say, maybe God doesn't talk to you, or maybe it goes over your head because some people think you're young? Well, tonight, I want to share with you the first time I heard him. And it was on a flight. Picture it. Most of you guys have all flown before, and you've seen flights, and you know how flights work, and it's a pretty foregone conclusion. This night seemed like any other night. See, I played professional basketball in Europe for 12 years, and every month it seemed like we were on a plane flying somewhere to play games or to travel to another game. So it seemed like normal business for me. Nothing different, nothing new. But this particular night, I had no idea that one, I would hear the voice of God, and two, it would change the way I viewed God. So, Czech Republic. Czech Republic is located, oh man, we call it the Balkan region of Europe. So you have Slovakia, you have Czech Republic, and then you have Austria. And they all used to be a unified group, but I don't want to confuse you. I'm flying from Czech Republic and we're going to Poland. The flight normally lasts about 2.5 hours, nothing more than that. And they usually add more time to flights just to give you some cushion room. Finally, we've been waiting all day. We got to the airport around 9 a.m. and they kept delaying because it was snow on the ground in Poland. If you know anything about Poland or you've heard anything, there's always snow. Always snow. So nothing new this particular night. We're trying to fly, but the snow's on the ground. We can't go. We sit and sit and sit and sit. They tell us we can go. We got on the plane, and then they got us off the plane and said, nope, we have to wait because the weather's too bad. They did this about 2 or 3 times. Have you ever been on a plane and they tell you, we're about to leave, and then you get delayed? Man, how does that make you feel? I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't make me a happy camper. I'm not excited. First of all, I don't really like to fly that much anyways. So to be delayed a few times gets you antsy, you get tired, and you're kind of frustrated. But what can you do? Finally, after being there at 9 o'clock in the morning, at 6:45 p.m., they say, right, we're going to board you and you can leave. I'm like, finally. Still, we get on the plane, get off the tarmac, and we go out. And we sit for another 45 minutes. I'm like, if you guys don't get me to Poland, I'm going to go crazy. Finally, around 7:30 p.m., we take off. Little do we know that we probably shouldn't be flying. You see, in Poland, there's still almost 2 feet of snow on the ground. So if you don't know how much that is, take your shoe and put it on top of each other a couple times, and it'll be something like that. That much snow. How do you land? You see, the airlines didn't want to put up a whole team and a whole flight of people in the airport. So they took the chance of sending us there, hoping that we could stay. Flight takes off. Like any other flight, it's normal, nothing new. Takes off in the air. And usually, Lord, I do every single time I fly. I put on my headphones, like many of you, zone in. But I never go to sleep. Now I do, now that I'm older. But back then, no way. I'm never going to sleep. About 45 minutes into the flight, we hear the pilot comes on. The pilot sounds a little iffy. He says, and I don't know, check or whatever, buckle your seatbelts. Okay. You never think nothing of it. Yeah, buckle your seatbelts. But little did I know, it was about to get crazy. 30 more minutes later, we're an hour away from Poland, and all of a sudden, you hear a frantic noise. Well, that's what it sounds like to me because I don't understand Czech. He's coming over the intercom and he's saying, stop service. Don't serve any more drinks. Don't serve any more food. Stop service immediately. Luckily for me, one of my teammates speaks the language. So I'm looking at him and I'm panicking. I'm like, dude, what is he saying? What are they saying? Because it's all just going so quickly. The stewardess and the stewardess are moving and taking things away. And I'm like, what's going on? At that moment, we find out the weather's pretty bad. And from that point on, to get to Poland, we had to go through some turbulent places. So it began to fly and flop up and down. It turned to the side. It started moving and it was dropping here and there. And all you hear is 125 people screaming each time it dropped down. The deep breaths because no one could believe it. It was like pandemonium and we're all scared. I have my headphones here. And because I'm so afraid, I'm scratching my head, I'm moving my hair. I'm trying to sit like this, I'm trying to sit like this. I'm trying to move around, but nothing's working because I just feel so afraid. Then it happens. I'll never forget this moment for the rest of my life. All of a sudden, I heard a voice. And the voice said, don't panic. You're not gonna die tonight. I looked around. I see my teammate, but he's scared and he's got his hand over his face and he's looking down. So it couldn't have been him. So I'm looking around. Who's talking to me? I said, nah, I don't even. I'm hearing things because I'm in panic mode. Headphones are still on. I hear it again. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen to you. And this time it said, you know who I am. Could this be? You hear stories in the Bible about it. You know, God appeared to Samuel. And he said, he spoke to him when he was a little boy. He's spoken to other people, Moses, David, Elijah, but I'm none of them. I just thought I was a common sinner, playing basketball, living the life that I thought was for me and the one that I wanted to live. But guess what? The plane's still dropping. It's going up and down. And the voice hits me again, don't panic. You're taken care of. It's funny because all the songs that you hear in Sabbath school and Pathfinders, they come back and it was the weirdest peace that came over me. It's almost as if God himself was right there with me, telling me and holding me, nothing's gonna happen to you. Now we're about 30 minutes outside of Poland, maybe 20. And they're trying to go low to get away from the turbulence, and the plane is still shaking up and down. You gotta believe it. There's 7-Up flying by, Coke bottles flying because they stopped the service right in the middle, and it is scary. But I have to believe that God's going to protect me. Sorry, I have a cold. But imagine that. In a position like that, there's nothing I can do. Either I trust or I panic. We start to descend into Poland, and it's a crazy descent because now we're 10 minutes out, but we're 20-something thousand feet in the air, and we just take a nosedive for about 5 seconds. And you can hear everyone screaming, "No, I don't want to die. This is crazy." You still see Coke cans. You still see drinks. You see everything. Then they stop it. And it's still shaking. Then all of a sudden we go again. And everybody's screaming. Everyone's panicking. And all of a sudden, I just stand up and tell my teammates, "You're not going to die. Everyone's going to be okay." You have to understand. My personality when I played, I didn't really talk a lot. I didn't talk much to my teammates, especially early in my career. I only wanted to work in my game. So for me to stand up, everybody knew it was a big deal because I didn't talk much. But I said it with such conviction and such a firm voice. No one's going to die. Relax. And I sat back down. And they're all looking at me kind of scared, but I put my headphones on and I began to listen to gospel music. And I was so calm. But guess what? The plane's still dropping. We're getting closer and it's lower and lower and lower. And as we're about 5,000 feet from the ground, we're looking out at Poland and all you see is white. It's snow. How are we gonna land? We're still going lower. All of a sudden, the pilot comes on and he's hysterical. He's and basically he's telling everybody, prepare for a crash landing. I'm still calm. 600, 500 feet, 400, 300, 200, 1. And we're going down, and it looks at it, and you can see the ground, and you can see nothing but snow all around you. No land. You can see nothing. It comes down and turns to the side and begins to slide. And the pilot's yelling, and the stewardess is yelling, and everyone's yelling, and I'm sitting right there in my seat, and I'm praying for the first time in years. God, please don't let me die. But the plane's still skirting. Finally, it stops. And you want to know how crazy it is? It stops right next to a ledge. See, I didn't know much about Poland, but at the time, they had a back fence at the end of the runway. And at that back fence, there was a cliff behind it, which went down 25 feet. Can you imagine what would have happened if we would have went past there? We stopped literally right in front of the fence. All of my teammates were scared. Some of them even wet themselves because this just couldn't be. But even in the most crazy moments, God was with me. Right now, maybe your parents are telling you, maybe the people are telling you around you what's going on in the world. It's crazy. People are dying from COVID-19. Lives are being lost. senselessly, protests, riots. It is crazy right now. But no matter how crazy it is, never forget, God is still with us. God will always protect you. And no matter what happens, just like in my story, sometimes when it seems like nothing makes sense, God always steps in and makes a way. Take care. I hope you enjoyed our devotional, and I can't wait to come and meet you guys next year. My name is Sullivan PHILLIPS, and I'm with Balling Out of Control. Have a good evening.